Hey, 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 it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. All I gotta say is rest in peace, TikTok, until we meet again. Man, so my kids and I were having a discussion yesterday, and I try to keep them in the loop when it comes to current events and things that's going on within the government, whether it's the executive branch, legislative, or judicial, or pretty much all of the branches. And I asked them, do you guys understand the reason as to why TikTok was, going to be banned? Um, and they had some type of inclination as to why. And it's kind of relevant to what I'm about to say. When, as a whole, a lot of people that there's people that are into politics, there's people that are into when it comes to laws and statutes in the government, and then you have some people that really don't care but don't realize how much of an effect it would have on you until something actually happens. So with this whole TikTok ban, I've been seeing a number of reports. People are saying Biden, did this and Trump is going to save TikTok, not even realizing that it started with Trump. And so I'm going to kind of give you guys kind of like a brief breakdown as to how this whole debacle came about with the ban on TikTok. Let's hop right on into it. So this is a recent post. Shout out to Big Mouth Media. They posted on their Instagram. I tried to go to Donald Trump's page. I don't even know where this from. I went to his Instagram. I didn't see this post. So I was like, let me just go back and just read it from my screen. So Donald Trump put a message out stating, I'm asking companies not to let TikTok stay dark. I will issue an executive on Monday to extend the period of time before the law's prohibition takes effect so that we can make a deal to protect our national security. The order will also confirm that there will be no liability for any company that helped keep TikTok from going dark before my order. Americans deserve to see our exciting inauguration on Monday, as well as other events and conversations. I would like the United States to have a 50% ownership position in a joint venture. By doing this, we save TikTok. Keep it in good hands and allow it to say, I guess he wants to say, stay up. Without US approval, there is no TikTok. With our approval, it is worth hundreds of billions of dollars, maybe trillions. Therefore, my initial thought is a joint venture between the current owners and or new owners whereby the United States gets a 50% ownership in a joint venture set up between the US and whichever purchase we so choose. I think, and this is my first time reading this. I think this was his plan all along, to actually have some type of percentage of TikTok after he has seen what TikTok is capable of doing. Mind you, we were in COVID during 2020, and we are just really starting to see the advantage and the income that you can earn from TikTok. And I think he notices that. And now you're coming back after you are the one who put out the executive order to sanction and ban them, only to come back and say, we want a piece of the pie. Make it so. Let me pop on into the actual executive order that was issued on August 6, 2020. It reads, by the authority in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, including the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, the National Emergencies Act, and Section 31 of Title 3 of the United States Code, I, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, find that additional steps must be taken to deal with the national emergency with respect to the information and communication technology and services supply chain declared in Executive Order 13873 of May 15, 2019, which was securing the information and communications technology and service supply chain. Specifically, the spread in the United States of mobile applications developed and owned by companies in the Republic of China continues to threaten the national security, foreign policy, and and economy of the United States. At this time, action must be taken to address the threat posed by one mobile application in particular, TikTok. TikTok, a video sharing mobile application owned by the Chinese company ByteDance Ltd, has reportedly been downloaded over 175 million times in the United States and 1 billion times globally. TikTok automatically captures vast swaths of information from its users, including internet and other network activity information such as location data and browsing and search histories. This data collection threatens to allow the Chinese Communist Party access to Americans' personal and proprietary information, potentially allowing China to track the locations of federal employees and contractors, users of personal information for blackmail and conduct corporate espionage. TikTok also reportedly censors content that the Chinese Communist Party deems politically sensitive, such as content concerning protests in Hong Kong and China's treatment of the Uyghurs and other Muslim minorities. The mobile application may also be used for information campaigns that benefit the Chinese Communist parties, such as when TikTok videos spread debunk conspiracy theories about the origins of the 2019 novel coronavirus. These risks are real. The Department of Homeland Security, Security Administration, and the United States Armed Forces have already banned the use of TikTok on federal government phones. The government of India recently banned the use of TikTok and other Chinese mobile applications throughout the country. In a statement, India's Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology asserted that they were stealing and uh, sur- surreptitiously transmitting users' data in an unauthorized manner to servers which have locations outside of India. American companies and organizations have begun banning TikToks on their devices. The United States must take aggressive action against the owners of TikTok to protect our national security. And this I hereby order the following actions shall be prohibited beginning 45 days after the date of this order. And yeah, so this is him put in the order. August 6, 2020. We are in quarantine, right? TikTok, nobody has nothing to do other than make a video on TikTok or be on TikTok and meet different people, engage with, not just people in the United States but the globe. And people in other countries interact with people from the United States. It was a global um a global what how we used to write pen pal letters, right? That's what it was. We got the opportunity to meet people, see other cultures, and all of that. And now I think notice the revenue that he can gain from TikTok. That's the reason why he wants a piece of it. All right. So shortly after that, in September, TikTok ends up suing Donald Trump. Well, I would say against Donald Trump in the District of Washington, D.C. Let me tell you what that read. A lot of these things I just really find interesting. Here's their introduction. Oh, I hate that it does this. Hold on. Oh, there we go. All right, introduction. Now, this is TikTok filing a complaint against Donald Trump. Listen to what they say. This action seeks to prevent the government from permissibly banning TikTok, a mobile software application that 100 million Americans use to create and share short videos composed of expressive content. On September 18, 2020, the U.S. Department of Commerce identified the prohibited transactions covered by Donald Trump's August 6, 2020 executive order, purportedly addressing the threat posed by TikTok. Once fully in effect, the prohibitions will prevent TikTok from operating in the United States. Defendants took this extraordinary action of prohibiting a popular communication and information sharing platform without affording its owners, plaintiff TikTok and ByteDance, due process of law, and for political reasons rather than because of any unusual and extraordinary threat to the United States, which is the condition for the president to exercise his authority under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The prohibitions and August 6 order must be enjoined because the TikTok ban is unconstitutional and ultra vires, and the prohibitions violate the Administrative Procedures Act. IEEPA, which is the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, vests the president with significant power to prohibit certain transactions to protect national security. Past presidents have used this power responsibly to protect the country from genuine threats from abroad, including terrorism and the proliferation of weapons and of mass destruction. Sorry. Defendant Trump, however, used IEEPA against TikTok, which the U.S. company is headquartered in Los Angeles, with hundreds of employees across the United States to destroy an online community where millions of Americans have come together to express themselves, share video content, and make connections with each other. The TikTok ban imposes these restrictions despite express limitations in IEEPA, barring executive regulation of personal communications or the transmission of information or informational materials. The TikTok is thus a gross misappropriation of IEEPA authority. The TikTok ban purportedly targets TikTok because of the speculative possibilities that an application could be manipulated by the Chinese government. But as the U.S. aware, plaintiffs have taken extraordinary measures to protect the privacy and security of TikTok U.S. user data, including by having the TikTok application store such data outside of China. So in the United States and Singapore, that is where our TikTok information is being stored, not in China, and by erecting software barriers that help ensure that TikTok users, or I'm sorry, TikTok's its US user data separately from the user data of other ByteDance products. These actions were known to the US government during a recent US national security review of ByteDance's 2017 acquisition of the China-based company musical.ly. As part of that review, plaintiffs provided voluminous material to the U.S. government documenting TikTok's security practices and made commitments that were more than sufficient to address any conceivable U.S. government privacy or national security concerns. Ignoring these demonstrable facts and commitments, President Trump's August 6 order authorized the Secretary of Commerce to prohibit any transaction with ByteDance and its subsidiary. Commerce Department implemented that order by prohibiting, as of September 20th, 2020, TikTok from being available for download in the United States on mobile application stores, and as of November 12th, 2020, the services that enable the TikTok application to function will shut down the application on the user's phone. I'm not going to read it anymore, but I just wanted you guys to get a gist of what was transpiring during 2020. So not only TikTok was going to be banned, but also other applications that help TikTok function, CapCut, and whatever other applications help TikTok. So with this being said, Donald Trump had information during presidency of how TikTok actually practiced security. So our user data wasn't in China ever. Our user stored in United States and Singapore. So where was the national security threat at? Plaintiff provided voluminous material to the United States government documenting their practices, their security practices, and commitments. I believe that this was a ploy because Donald Trump knew all along that he wanted a piece of TikTok. I do believe that. Now, this is the exhibit um, that I believe Donald Trump ended up submitting in a filing, and he just kind of broke down the global threats, uh, particularly cyber threats from China and Russia. And some things, and they have a whole different department that handles the national security, obviously, of the United States. But it's this report that, and I'll read just a brief part of it because I was understanding why he would have thought that this was security. However, if TikTok has been in communication with the Trump administration during that time, they know their security measures, they know how they're taking precaution to protect the US citizens' data. What was really the issue? What was really the issue? So here in the report, and let me go back up so y'all can see. This is the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the worldwide threat assessment of the U.S. intelligence community. So this states that our adversaries and strategic competitors will increasingly use cyber capabilities, including cyber espionage, attack, and influence to seek political, economic, and military advantage over the United States and its allies and partners. China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea increasingly use cyber operations to threaten both minds and machines in an expanding number of ways, to steal information, to influence our citizens, and to destroy infrastructure. At present, China and Russia pose the greatest espionage and cyber attack threats, but we anticipate that our adversaries and strategic competitors will increasingly build cyber espionage, attack, and influence capabilities into their efforts to influence U.S. policies and advance their own national security interests. And specifically for China, it says China presents a persistent cyber espionage threat and a growing attack threat to our core military and critical infrastructure systems. China remains the most active strategic responsible for cyber espionage against the US government, corporations, and allies. It is improving its cyber attack capabilities and altering information online, shaping Chinese views and potentially the views of US citizens. Uh, an issue we discuss in greater detail in the online influence operations and election intersection of this report. They talk about how China has the ability to launch cyber attacks and cause localized temporary disruptive effects on critical infrastructure, such as disruption of pipeline for days to weeks in the United States. They're concerned about the Chinese intelligence and security services to use Chinese information technology firms as routine and systematic uh, espionage platforms against the United States and allies. So, again, You guys from this, what I just read from that point of view, I get it. I get that they are a threat when it comes to the, they can infiltrate any aspect of our government. I get it. However, in that complaint that they stated that they have provided the Trump administration with everything. So pretty much they're saying we have done everything to ensure that your information, the United States of America, the citizens of the United States, we have made sure that their information will not be jeopardized. We store their information in the United States. And if you have not watched the last video I did on TikTok, go watch that, because it even tells us the areas in the United States where our information is stored. So it's stored in the United States and it's also stored in Singapore. And that's it. But there's a national threat of them getting our stuff. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. But now, 2025, you're fighting for TikTok only because you want a piece of that pie. You had what, 5 years to see how TikTok flourished. You knew all along that they really didn't pose a threat to our national security, because they did everything in their power to ensure that they separated from ByteDance. TikTok is no longer a part of ByteDance. It's its own, how can I say this? So you have ByteDance, which is the parent company. Then you have TikTok. Let's put it that way. But TikTok has a US based location. What more do you want? That's the question. So y'all tell me what y'all thoughts about this is. I know that there are a lot of people upset because that's how they were making their business. But definitely let me know what y'all think about this in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, y'all stay prayed up. I think TikTok right now is on life support, not fully, 6 feet under just yet. Forgive me for saying that, but I think Trump might make some type of exception to not ban TikTok, but we shall see. But I just want y'all to understand that this was his plan all along. I believe that Trump wanted a piece of a pie. In order for TikTok to even survive, he's going to have a part of it. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Until then, y'all be blessed. Bye.